Hi, welcome to Camera Peeps. I'm Con.
And I'm David. And Con, this episode we're going to be talking about the Burano.
Yep.
And from my perspective as an owner-operator of owning this camera for 12 months, or a little more than 12 months, and some of my thoughts and some of my thoughts that aren't quite as positive, so that we can maybe look at.
Things you wish that it would do or had that maybe if anyone from Sony is listening might take note of.
Exactly. Well, I think first up I need to just say I'm not really active on any of the forums.
Yep.
So some of the things we discuss may have already been discussed.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about, or I'm not going to talk about colour science, how it compares to the Venice or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of
It's
reviews.
all been done. But I can tell you a year of doing multi-camera interviews, it's great. You know, it's a great tool to match up with the FX6 and FX3. So this video is going to be more about the practical issues.
Yep.
So first up, it's a great camera, and what I'm loving is solid build quality.
Yep.
And the metal handle. So after the FX6 or whatever, I feel like I can pick this up. Once it's loaded up with time code and monitors and things, it doesn't feel like it's going to break away from the camera body. So
do they make another handle for that? I believe there's a FX9
I think the
handle.
FX9 handle goes on there, but it's like, why would you want it?
It's made out of plastic.
I believe
It doesn't imbue confidence.
Not for me. Not for me. So, and this has this design with the rail going through. It's easy to add accessories, which I'll get to a bit later. So, it's a great camera. Just a few little niggly things for me. But first up, the menu system is great. It's basically the same, follows the whole pattern of the FX, same user interface as the FX.
I love it when the menu from camera to camera matches, and I don't have to relearn another menu like the FX3 and the A7S has a totally different menu, and my head, trying to remember.
Well, especially when you're under the pump on a job.
Exactly.
And you have VIP guests sitting there, and you're sort of going around from camera to camera, making sure sure they're all okay. So it is. You're right. It is good.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So the first thing is the metadata issue. So on all the smaller cameras, you've got a lot of options.
Like the FX6 and maybe the FX3.
So when you get the call sheet for a job, generally, apart from the call time and wrap time and the address, they're very specific about the metadata and how each camera is named.
You mean on the camera file name?
That's it, yeah. So, S1, Series 1, EP1, the talent's name, the date, all that sort of thing. And you can't do that on this camera.
Oh, really?
So, what that means to us, or to me, is an email to the production manager or the head of post-production to say, sorry guys, I can't do that. It'll be fine on the other cameras. Yeah. But the best I can do when I data wrangle is just name that folder as
from the Burano.
Of the Burano, and just, I'm really sorry. So I'm not sure why it's that hard. I mean, can you tell me, you've got more sort of filmmaking experience than me. I mean, can you understand why
I don't understand. Sometimes, this camera costs 5 times what the FX6 does, and it doesn't have a feature that is expected and wanted by us as cameramen and producers.
Yeah, and to be honest, metadata, if I didn't have to deal with it, I'd be happy, but I do have to deal with it. It's a thing. But that process itself, making contact, explaining, and the meanwhile I'm trying to promote the fact that I've got this high-end camera and use me and blah blah blah. So that's a bit of a letdown. But look, this is early days for this camera.
Yeah, and I'm sure with the firmware update they can rectify that. If anyone is listening, again, as I said from Sony, please include title, the ability to put a title on the clip naming format.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing, once again, this camera, I guess it's aimed at people who have a TV background, people who are still doing a bit of TV, still doing a bit of production or whatever. But I noticed this has a USB Type-C port.
Yep.
And I'm not quite sure what it's for, but I can't. What I was hoping it was going to be, I was hoping it was going to be powered. So there's an acronym for this.
PD, power delivery.
Okay. So my thought was that as the owner of these, Sony radio mics,
I've got one of those, the dual receivers from Sony. Yeah, they're great.
And it's really good that you can put AA batteries in, power it externally. You can set in the menu whether the batteries are the primary source of power, and then it changes to the external or vice versa. So it's really good. And I would have thought, how good would it be if I could just do this and turn the camera on, and the radio mic comes on, turn the camera off, and the radio mic goes off.
That'd be great. And being a USB-C, why not have it talk to the camera, and so you can see the wireless reception, battery level from the receivers.
Once again, like in an XD cam, a news camera where you do, and the battery starts going flat, you get all these messages. So
because they used to have the uni slots at the back.
That's right. So that is a bit of a disappointment. So if I want to use this system, then
you have to use all the cables.
Well, I'm just AA. You'd probably put the expensive lithiums in for the day, and they're expensive. So, anyhow.
Well, again, that might be something they can bring out with a firmware update to allow power delivery.
Well, look at these things. Look, it might be more. It might be more than that. It might be a case of it's another circuit board, or it's protecting this internal device.
Board,
if someone
people
plugs,
overload it. But these days, there's so many circuits to cut off the voltage if it gets overloaded. I'm sure they can protect it that way.
And the way I see it, it's a protocol, right?
Yeah.
They all have to, whatever they make. Where they're worried about people charging their iPhones on it or something. I guess that could be a thing.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's the way it is. So, and also there was the option when this camera was sort of being before it was rolled out, and they were trying to sort of woo us as potential customers, and they said you can get an FX9 handle.
The one we talked about earlier.
That's right, and the connectors are beneath here, and then that works, and it's like, why? The FX9, I believe, is discontinued, and it's another spare part. Why am I going to buy, spend good money on an FX9 handle and put that in the cupboard for the next 10 years? Until I sell the camera, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, so there's something. And now, speaking of power, so the F5, and F55, and the broadcast shoulder mounted cameras, they have a Hirose power output.
I believe we've got a photo of your old F5.
And there it is there, two options. Now, this camera obviously doesn't have that. And I'm just speculating why Sony may not have done that, possibly because it was more engineering, it was an extra circuit board, or maybe they had issues, because the F5, 55, they're good 12, 13 years old now.
Yeah, I think 2012 they were launched, I think.
So that was enough time for them to work out that, yes, people were plugging things in that were possibly, crashing the camera or whatever.
I remember even on the ENG cameras, those Hiroses were kept being blown by the sound recorders, links or dual receivers when they were plugging into it. But I think they subsequently must have upped the amperage on those Hiroses later on to prevent that from happening.
Okay. Well, look, fortunately we do have options now, and the Hawkwoods adapter, which I've got there, we're actually using it, that has it's a V-lock plate with two regulated outputs, Hirose outputs, which are great. So I guess that's what we have to do. And also a lot of the V-lock batteries now have USB Type-C output for charging. So I'm not going to win that one.
Yep.
So here's another thing so once again, another practical matter, as much as the technology changes, and I've lived through all these cameras.
That's right. You've been a Sony man for all your 40-year plus career, haven't you?
And, the cameras brands that are now have been available for the last 10 or 15 years, I've never been the slightest bit tempted to jump ship and change. So anyhow, my point was, as much as the technology's changed, the practical things don't. So you arrive at a job, you park in a multi-level car park or something, and then you go, right, I've got to carry this and the tripod and the bounce board or the light or whatever to the...
You're on your own most of the time.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. And I go, well, because I'm old school, I like having a strap, like so.
Oh, a shoulder strap for the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it frees up a hand. I mean, if you're holding the camera, first of all, I don't want to hold it, a camera for half an hour.
Yeah, it gets heavy after.
Yeah. So look, fortunately, I'm pretty sure it's Vocus. I got this at Videocraft, so maybe check with them. So this is a lug that accommodates. There's already one on there on that side. And then, so I'll just...
So you can retrofit these lugs to fit the old school camera straps?
Yes. So
I didn't know that.
I'll just demonstrate this. So I'll just tighten that up a little bit. What I'll do is I've dragged out of the store the old Digibeta, and I'll just remove the Sony strap. And I'm assuming a lot of people still have these straps.
Yeah, probably.
And then I can...
how cool is that?
Pop that on. And once again, those lugs are made by Vocus. My level of trust is pretty high with that brand.
Yeah, Dutch brand. Yeah.
So
that's cool. And that frees up, as you said, a hand to
like
open doors or...
Well, think about it. You get out of the car, you load up,
you
get into the lift, then you have to press the button.
Yeah.
Then you get out, then you have to open doors, etc. So that's something.
And I can see why the metal handle... you'll feel confident using a strap with a metal handle rather than a plastic one. You couldn't do that on the plastic handle, could you?
I doubt it. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You could try. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, because, the cameras are just getting more and more loaded. You start loading up with Ninja Vs and things, then you start putting bigger batteries on, etc. So, are we cool with that one? Is that good?
Yeah.
Now with that one. So the next thing is the lack of top mic. So this has a little scratch mic, and I'm thinking that's probably more for the film world where it just needs to, the clapper loader or whatever, or just some basic guide.
Yeah.
So I know there's options to get external mics like from Rode or whatever.
Now, does that have, the mounting holes for a mic holder like the old ENG cameras?
I don't know. It doesn't. But fortunately, good old small rig.
Oh,
I think I've got just about everything on the small rig catalogue. So this works well. So it's at 90-degree angle, that clamp.
Oh, I've never seen one of those.
So I just pop that there. And of course, there's jobs where I'm happy to have a mic on.
Yeah.
And there's other times I don't want it on because it gets in the way.
Sure.
So once again, what we do here, what I've done is I've rated the old Digibeta.
Yep.
And, I already had this microphone, already had the Rycote.
Is that a stereo microphone?
No, it's mono.
It's a mono, yep.
And I did change the XLR to a right angle plug.
Yep.
So basically that goes in there. And then,
see, that's perfect.
And then just plug that into wherever that is. Oh, that thing's.
So, David, that mic also requires phantom power. Does the camera do that?
It does. Yeah. So, once again, Sony cameras, they're well sorted for audio, I believe. So, on the side here, so we've got line mic, 48 volts.
Oh, perfect.
And that's channel 1 and channel 2 option as well.
Excellent.
So I'm happy with that. I get to use some old equipment, don't have to introduce anything else.
Yep. I like how you can repurpose old gear to the new camera, move things along.
I enjoy it,
yeah.
And it saves some money on. And I've got no problem with the new products; they're great. But
I think you were going to talk about the viewfinder.
Okay, so the viewfinder is. Do you mind if I just remove this?
Yeah.
For the demonstration purposes, we've done it.
Yep.
I can go there. So with the viewfinder, it's kind of okay.
Yep.
And I would say, looking at the design of it, it's inspired by the Arri, I guess. But I don't really like it.
Well, you can't. It's great for someone standing next to you to have a look at, but you can't look at it. You can't flip that.
No, and I'm sort of older school. I prefer a viewfinder to look into. And also it has this dual role of being a touch screen.
Oh yeah, for the menu.
For the menus.
Yep.
So, why do I want to look at a screen that's got fingerprints all over it?
Oh, that's true.
And look, there's not a lot. I mean, I tend to drive the menu through the wheel.
Yeah. Yep.
The sound recorders, probably really the only ones that go there.
Yeah.
However, so what would be the solution for me that would make me happy? Okay, so the solution is halfway there. So Sony have this viewfinder for the XD cams.
Okay. Yep.
The PXW Z750, I think it is. The one before it, the X500.
That's an ENG camera.
ENG camera, right?
Yeah, yep.
So this has, I believe, the OLED from the Venice viewfinder, and I had the other, the model of this viewfinder just below this model for my XD cam, which I no longer have.
Yep.
And yes, you can't complain, same as the Venice viewfinder, so it's excellent. So, but what this one has is...
What's the resolution? Sorry to interrupt.
This is 1080.
1080.
This one, I believe, is 720.
Oh, okay. You're already ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would love this. So as a concept, we have this viewfinder. It has a pop-up screen, and obviously there's no power going into it. So to me, I could have my viewfinder that no one gets to put their fingerprints all over. The menu this could be this actually isn't a touch screen, so I won't touch it, but the concept is this could be the touch screen to drive all the menus. This could also be, a playback monitor if the director wants to sort of stand around.
Yep.
So this would make the ideal viewfinder for me.
Yep. I can see why. It's higher resolution, and you've got two options for viewfinder and flip screen as separate entities. Yeah.
And we are sort of in the G master space, the Sony E-mount lenses, and I think they're really good for our space, as I call it. But what if someone does want me to? Yes. Yeah,
I've got another question before you put it away.
Okay. So
you can't put that viewfinder on the Burano?
No, it's completely different plug.
Oh, the connectors.
Yeah, and it's a different generation. This would be a few years old. So
right, so it's not a new product.
No, so that plug is for the XD cams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would, if Sony said, we've got the body, we don't have to engineer too much except some circuits, I would actually even accept two plugs, maybe this one to the...
Like an adapter cable.
Something like that, and I'd happily burn off one of the SDIs.
Which would be a shame to waste an SDI in it, but if it meant you can have that viewfinder, you'd be willing to do that. Yeah.
I know. And look, and I should point out, I think the retail for these things is about 10,000 Australian dollars, so they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Need to thank Videocraft for loaning us this for our demonstration.
Thank you, Videocraft.
So they have these if you need to hire them for XD cam job.
Yep.
So... what do you reckon? Do you reckon that's a fair call?
Yeah. Like I said, as we keep saying throughout this video, if anyone from Sony is listening, please take note.
And if any of our colleagues agree or disagree, I probably need to know.
Yeah, please put your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah.
Okay. So what else have we got here? So I've done the microphone. Okay, so screws for the base. I'm not sure what other people have done. I repurposed when I sold my F5, I kept the Vocus shoulder mount.
They do make good products.
It's nice quality.
Yeah.
And then, so that came out of storage when I got the Burano. But you know what? I wasn't happy with what are these ones? 3/8.
3/8.
Screws. I just wasn't happy with how far they were sort of screwing in. Basically, weren't getting enough bite.
Yeah.
And considering the investment here, what do I do? Look, I rang the usual suppliers, and in a hurry, I couldn't really find anything with the longer. Is shank? Is that the word? Is that a shank?
I guess so. Yeah.
So there's an engineer who does a lot of my custom work.
Yep.
Who just happens to be a qualified Rolls-Royce and Bentley mechanic.
How'd you find him?
Long story. And so he helps me with my custom work. So I went round with the Burano on the oily bench with cylinder heads and things he was rebuilding. But he got out some of his precise measuring equipment, micrometers and things or whatever. So we sort of measured the depth of the hole in the bottom there, and the thickness of the plate And so from a blank piece of stainless steel, he's made to,
Wow.
well, a new screw, which is like, I don't know, 5-6 mils bigger than the one that came with the focus plate. So it's precisely measured. So basically you can do this up tight. It's probably covering, 95% of the internal thread.
Yep.
But there's no chance it will
Screw
damage
through and damage the circuit board. Yeah.
So-
Which has happened on maybe more cheaper cameras and maybe DSLRs and stuff in the past.
I would have thought, yeah. So look, that gives me, I think, and look, these aren't cheap getting custom made screws. So these were over 100 Aussie dollars each, and you might balk at that. I think it's cheap insurance, to be honest.
Right.
There's no way this is going to
Yep.
snap away from that.
From the threads, yep.
So I don't. If anyone's interested in the exact
Dimensions?
dimensions, or it's probably the length, we know it's 3/8, whatever the thread is.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that, someone has the connections of an engineer.
Maybe another manufacturer of camera accessories can make something similar.
Maybe. But you can see the stakes are high here.
Yeah.
That's a big investment here. And I've had issues with screws before.
Really?
From other manufacturers, or they've been just supplied with accessories, and then you get the big, heavy torque sort of screw, and I've actually snapped them.
Really? So
Yes.
you've experienced, I can see why you've gone to the trouble of doing this then.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, so there's that. Okay, so there's another thing in the picture side of things is this camera doesn't have an option to record 50i.
Right.
So
it's only a progressive record camera.
So once again, going back to the F5 and the F55 12, 13 years ago, that had the option. So the reason that's an issue with broadcast is here I am working at the Australian Open with Chris Stubbs and Daniela Hunchakova, and the Channel 9 requirements are interlaced. This is with the live views.
As with most broadcast TV stations here in Australia, and I'm sure overseas as well still.
Yeah, and of course you can output 1080i.
Or 50i.
Or 50i,
Yep.
50i, yes. But they can still tell it has that jittery, that when it's in 25p, so it has that jittery progressive look.
Yep.
And I have to be master control, usually pick it up straight away.
So you're saying if you're recording in 25p and outputting at 50i, they can still pick the motion blur when you're panning?
And it's not actually recording, it's just the output,
right? The output.
So look, it's not so bad in a static environment like this, but you're right, if there is movement, if you are doing the weather or something, where there's a lot of movement, it's 20, and they pick it up straight away. So no big deal. Look, just go into the menu and put it into 50p, and that smooths it out, keeps it
more frames, I guess. It simulates a 50i.
Look, to them on the big panels in the controller, it looks smooth. That's all they need to know, and it will then marry into the studio cameras, etc. So I just, once again, I'm not quite sure why that's not there. Can't be.
I guess people think, come on, guys, let's all move away from interlace. Let's all get with the program and go progressive. But broadcasters still want interlace. So, look, it's a big deal for a TV broadcast station to go either 4K, progressive, whatever. They really basically have to replace all their infrastructure.
Which isn't going to happen anytime soon.
In this climate.
Yeah. So, and us guys, we have to be everything to everyone. And anyhow, so I'm just saying.
There's another photo here showing your setup at the tennis. Yeah.
Yes, so Nan Lights, great products.
It's a great view from
it's a very nice view. And that's where I'm there early in the morning, but obviously that's where the internationals, international broadcasters, there's usually a lot more. I wouldn't have that luxury of that much space if everyone else was there. They were squeezed in like sardines.
So you don't have a satellite truck there. How do you get the picture to the master control?
Live view, it's probably hard to see, but it's actually hanging off the
better put my glasses
the tripod there. It's underneath. The live view is pretty small. If it was the Dejero, backpack Dejero, you would see it. But yes, real one-man band.
Wow.
Stuff here. So
excellent.
Okay, so there's another thing that the FX6 has, and even the smaller cameras have, is the clear image zoom.
Yep.
I find that quite useful,
Yep.
especially when, I admit this, if you're on a prime, you run a big setup like this, and then at the last minute the producer says, can you just tighten up a little bit? And you have to, once again, talking about SATA, everything's just squeezed in, the monitors, just everything's tight, trying to just shuffle everything in, and that clear image zoom is a nice little cheat. And given it's an 8K sensor,
you've got plenty of room.
It's easy there. So look, I wouldn't mind if that came in.
Oh, another feature request, is it?
Yes, it's a feature request.
Yeah, clear image zoom on the Burano, please. Yep.
And as you know, look, I'm a huge fan of 213-inch sensor cameras, and I think they do a lot of things better. So another scenario is, the forum or the corporate event in a auditorium or whatever, filming people at a lectern talking. So clear image zoom, 70 to 200, that would give you 400 mil.
Oh, wow.
Of zoom, that would be nice.
Yep.
So I'd like to see that in future updates.
But overall, you're really happy with this camera?
It's good. Yeah, I feel great going out to work with it. Like the FX6 and, other Zacuto viewfinders and things. It's all an extra cable. It's an HDMI cable. It's another power supply. It's this, it's that. It's got its own menu for LUTs and everything. And I think there's a lot of potential there for clashes of, of not getting it right, basically.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I am quite happy. The FX6 on certain jobs, I just assign that to the gimbal. Because it's got the NDs and everything, and I go. So,
the variable ND, perfect for run and gun gimbal work. Yeah.
FX6 is the gimbal camera, so that keeps me happy.
Yep.
So, what else is there? So look, pictures wise, like I said, look, I can't share a lot of client material.
Yep.
But I can say we worked together on a job for Coles. With Curtis Stone, the presenter.
Yeah, we'll put a link to it down in the description if you want to click on it.
It's in the public domain. It's on YouTube. So.
Yeah. It's really good.
If you go and have a look at that, that's got the Burano, 2 FX6s, FX3, A7S3.
Yep. So it was 5 cameras.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it worked, and that was a fairly high end job. With all the agency people and. Etc. etc. So the equipment, delivered.
Yeah,
I felt on that
all
day
the
for
cameras
us.
matched.
Yeah.
And,
Yep. So, but one bit of footage I do have is fireworks. So the last New Year's Eve fireworks, I was part of an OB. Most people were just on either Eng cameras or FX6s or whatever. I'd never shot fireworks, I don't think, on an OB situation with the cinema camera, so I just ramped up the ISO. So one of the great benefits of these sensors is, not much noise.
So does this camera have dual native ISO?
It does. So it's, 800 and 3200. So I ramped it up to the 3200, and we did call Master Control before the event and just made sure they were happy.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean here.
Well, the other thing with this thing is you can see just the small planes, going across the top.
People actually booked to fly over
quite a bit, and they time it. So I guess I'm sure there's some nervous air traffic controllers.
Yeah, how do they not bump into each other up there in the
nervous
dark?
air traffic controllers. But I possibly could have ramped up the ISO a little bit more, but there's no rehearsals. You have to make the decision. But I also think that if you did, you might risk losing a lot of the colour and effect in some of those fireworks.
Because the fireworks are pretty bright, and the sky is dark, and it's a very high contrast scene here, and the camera seems to have captured.
But look at the Albert Park Lake water; it's fine, and it's even a shot there. I think we can see the swans kind of swimming across. But what impressed me was the way it picks up the lasers, pointing into the sky.
Yeah, very fine detail.
Yeah, and in fact, that night the guy that runs the whole event, the show, the light show, basically, he was standing by with us. Coincidentally, that's where he was just looking at his work and all his colleagues. And when the show was over, his partner rang, and said our shot was the best in the OB. And I go, well, you know, the wife, the partner, they're the ones you have to listen to, right?
She
So
pull any punches?
no. So I was really impressed with its performance, and I
Yep.
definitely, if anyone asked me to be shooting fireworks again,
Yeah,
no problems.
with the Burano.
No.
Yeah. So, but what's it? The Burano's dynamic range, 14.5, 15 stops, something like that.
That's a question you can answer. Because like I said at the beginning, all that
Yeah. Fair enough. I think it's around about that. So,
dynamic
yeah,
range and colour science. It's like, oh no, that's not what I want to talk about. So yeah, lots of technical mumbo jumbo on the internet. So
well, it shows here there's plenty of latitude. Yeah.
yeah, and there's another thing also I thought of too, is this camera comes with the PL mount.
Oh, okay. And is that an accessory you have to pay extra
No,
for?
it comes with the camera, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
And look, to be honest, I don't see PL lenses often these days.
Well, if you're working on most dramas or
You would?
scripted stuff, most of the stuff is PL still.
Yeah. So, but if I'm ready to go, right?
Yeah, that's
Except
great option to
except
even high-end commercials.
yeah. But if I was doing something that level, I would like to have a viewfinder that's high resolution. But this is a good system with, or you know, just the E mount and you know being able to screw that PL adapter on there. But one thing I'll just say about this E mount, this lockable situation, like it's good, except you can't do F1 type lens changes, you know, like in the pits, you know, how they change the tyres and everything. It's actually quite fiddly and awkward. You know, just you have to have good dexterity pushing that little safety catch in and holding the lens from, you know, so it doesn't fall off and everything. So definitely for hot swapping lenses, the FX6 and the FX3 do it better. Hey, you know, it's a small thing.
But if you're using the PL mount or positive lock mechanism, even on the E mount system, you usually would have a crew, a camera system.
Of course. And look, and I actually haven't used that yet. So, so there's another. We're just about getting there. I better be careful how I store that. There was another thing. I was never a big fan of the handle. This design, look, it's got that quick release thing. Oops, I actually started recording there. It has this quick release thing, but I just find that I'm just forever adjusting it, you know.
That would be annoying.
It's annoying. So look, I've done some sort of tests. I'm eventually going to just have the, this is the one off the FX6. I'm really just going to fix it at that point where that Hirose bracket is, because I've done some tests. If you're on a really long lens, you're going to be on a tripod. If you're handheld, you're pretty much going to have these physically short lenses. And I go, you know what? That's all I need. That's that rotating.
Can you still have it on the shoulder?
Yes.
Oh,
look,
really?
look, it's not everyone's cup of tea, right? Like I see a lot of people using the handlebars and everything, and I'm not into that at all. It's a personal thing. I like compact. You know. And I've pretty much decided that will suit me when it's there. So look, that's another project. But the handle, and then you know this cable catches up in things, and even there it's it's covering the lever, and so I don't love that handle to be honest. But I'm stuck with it, and I work with it. So I think that's mostly it. So look, it is nice.
The camera.
It is a nice camera. And I hope it serves me and us well. I think I got a good 10 years out of the F5. And I think people are still making a quid.
Yeah, I think they're still using on some shows here in Australia.
And they're well made, and you know, so good business sense to actually, if you still own one, you can still make money out of it. So I think that wraps us up. Any other questions? No,
not really. I think you were pretty comprehensive in your thoughts. So you would definitely recommend this camera to anyone?
Not necessarily. I mean, you've got to work to a budget. I mean, you know, the customer has to be prepared to pay a premium for it. They may not be. If you can afford it, great. But just have a good business plan. Because it really isn't for everyone. And, you know, you might be better off, you know, from a business point of view, you might be better off just running around with your FX6. That's why they're so popular. And if you get a big job, just hire it for the day. That way you get to try it out and see if you like it. I know. So look, I'm not taking my own advice here. I do like to own a camera because a lot of my work is last minute. And we workshop a lot of scenarios and camera settings and things, and it's
like
great.
here in this studio, setting up the multicam,
updating firmware and all that sort of stuff. So, like, to me as an owner operator, it suits me to own it.
Yep.
So I've stuck with it. So it suits me.
That brings up the topic. If anyone would like to hire David or me, we are freelance cinematographers. So give us a call or get in contact with us.
And feel free to leave any comments. That would be helpful. And if you found the video engaging and enjoyable, please like, subscribe, share, because that helps the algorithm, as they keep telling us. I believe them. So thanks for watching.
Yep, thank you. See you on the next one.